G'day, welcome to the channel. I have a confession to make today. I think my journey with DAWless is done. I know, it's a big statement, but anyway, just bear with me because I'm going to talk about it more. I've just got back from a holiday, and as holidays do, put you in new situations, you explore new things. One of the things I explored was taking my iPad with me, and I haven't really looked at iPad making music software for probably 4 or 5 years, and it wasn't very good then, but now I used AUM, whatever it is, and I discovered things like Fugue Machine, Hilda as a kind of West Coast app for synthesis, and I realized that it's come a long way. And what I managed to do on the holiday, and then in a couple of weeks subsequently since coming back from the holiday, is that this sound that I've been chasing in my head to try and make with a DAWless rig, I actually managed to make with an iPad, which was a bit concerning. Was that the iPad, whilst it was an incredibly excellent solution to be able to put music together whilst riding on the train or on a plane or sitting by the pool, would be incredibly boring to actually perform with. And even more boring for people to watch. So I started scratching my brain and thinking, how could I make it more interesting? Well, I had already bought some things. So let's show you where this whole crazy rig is up to right now. So here we have. It's been through a few iterations, but I think this is now my almost DAWless setup. And I have some very specific things that I'm using AUM for. So I am actually considering this a DAWless setup. Where did I come to? So I said that I had been making music, which you can probably hear playing under while I'm talking at the moment, using the iPad. Mostly I've been using an app called Hilda and I think it's called the Roland modules or the Korg modules set up with the piano in, which is great, being driven by Fugue Machine, but very boring to go and play live with because really it's just press play and off we go. I had also been playing with Gauss by the wonderful Heinbach and Bram brothers before I went on holiday, and that became quite an integral part of my thoughts. Also, the Make Noise, O Control and O Coast. This board here I am calling the Summoner. So this replaces Hilda. O Control controls the O Coast, feeds through this glorious thing which is made by Synth Academy. They're Touch 2 running their effects, which has reverb and delay, plus a bit crusher, plus a drive, fed into best mixer for this stuff, the Bastl which I'm actually using for more drive, because that I think just really makes this thing shine. Out of here, main out goes to this tuning pedal to make sure I'm in the right key. Headphones out goes in to 1 and 2 on this interface, which appears stereo channel in AUM and is then fed to the reverb. Can be fed to many other things, and this is where this thing comes into its own. I can't stress enough that AUM is not doing any actual performing of music. There's no sequencing happening in there for this rig. It's purely just doing effects. There's actually some master bus things going on in there, which for a live environment was quite revolutionary to think about for me. And then also is hosting Gauss, because that is an integral part of me performing this stuff live. Anyway, let's go back and look at the other view, yeah? Okay, good. Next thing is, I've had a Mellotron sat around, not doing very much for a long time. And a big part of the sound of the records I've been making on this has been this kind of tapey, driven, fuzzy, delay, reverby piano. I didn't really just want to use a MIDI controller to control the piano in here, but the piano in the Mellotron, because it's recorded on a tape historically, makes it have a lot of that kind of vibe from the outset. I also use the vibes as a solo instrument, so that processed into AUM via this lead here, then comes into here, is fed to the master bus, but also has a send to the Gauss looper. So my workflow is record a thing in here, in Gauss, which you've not discovered Gauss, there are many videos on it, but it's excellent, record at normal speed, play it back, half, quarter, eighth speed, stays in key, but drops the octave down, gives you a lovely kind of lo-fi wash, especially if you play it backwards, and then also feed it back through the eventide black hole reverb. That becomes the basis of the track. This, the summoner, makes an improvised sort of mid-rangey sound. These two together weave their magic between the low end and mid-range, feed into here, and then I fed out via the real bus, which I have making the whole thing sound like a moderately knackered cassette tape. Over the top, Mellotron, playing vibes, and as if you've seen some of my shorts recently, this whole thing ends up being if the doors were DAWless, so maybe that is why this video is named as it is. So this is my rig, and I think it's actually the best version of my rig that I can possibly come up with. The almost DAWless rig. So I'm sure you're wondering, I don't really care, why am I watching this video? And why am I making this video? Well, the reason I'm making this video is because I realised that I was sort of falling into this trap of DAWless. And that trap was just, it was like a YouTube trap. You know, I watch all these videos. There's a bit of a kind of thing about not using computers or iPads in music making. There's also a whole load of iPad music making guys who are just purely iPad music making guys. And it doesn't seem to be any real conversation about somehow crafting these two together and making the best use of both worlds. Because why would you not do that? Why would you not use the tactility of make noise stuff, but then the full recall and advanced effects that you can get from rolling a computer in? As far as I can tell, the level of tactility of having a small rig like this is the same. It costs nothing like what trying to build this level of effects in a modular rig would take. And it's all savable, so you can save songs. That is what having a few weeks off from being in the studio and thinking about this all the time has led me to. It's this connection of cables and programs and a Mellotron. And I love that it's got a Mellotron and an iPad and a crazy make noise analog synth. I know what you're thinking now. What does it sound like? Well, here it is. we are back to where we began. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if it came across a bit ranty. The core of what I'm saying is, with this setup, I can take my little iPad anywhere I like and make some music, bring it home and swap out very easily using AUM hardware elements to enable me to go and perform these tracks live. Something I would not be able to do if I was either fully in the iPad or fully in modular. And that to me feels like an amazing thing. Anyway, thank you if you're still watching my video. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell and all those things that other YouTubers do. Second half of 2024, it's going to be Christmas soon. It's very cold in Australia. Thanks for watching. There'll be some more music next week, and then probably the following week there'll be more of me talking about stuff. Goodbye.